Okay.
What do we want to cover today? Okay, it's warming up and boating season is coming, but one of the things that happens near the water, it's always just a little chilly, even if you think it's warm. This is Not a Spring Chick with Oldecam for OFN with comments on the headlines of today. A major airline is under fire from environmentalists for flying an aircraft across the Atlantic with only 5 passengers on board.
Well, that's more normal than what you'd actually think.
A small bomb caused minor damage to an empty military recruiting station in Times Square early Thursday.
They keep telling us that we're returning to the 70s. I was in college in the early 60s. That sounds more like the 60s we're going after.
Ecuador, Venezuela demand condemnation.
Chances of that are slim and none.
U.S. military says 2,000 troops leaving Iraq.
Yeah, this is exactly what was going to happen if the Democrats would have just left well enough alone anyway. We're all going to leave one way or the other.
Dean urges do-over voting in Florida and Michigan.
That's because there's like 3 million voters that are pissed off at the Democratic Party.
Home foreclosures hit record high.
And they're going to keep going higher because houses are considerably overvalued and they're not worth anything.
Comedian and activist Bill Cosby says problems in the black community are like dirty laundry that need to be washed, not ignored.
The problem is that Mr. Cosby and I are both senior citizens, and as we know, the young people do not listen to senior citizens.
Rice urges diplomacy for Colombia.
That's what they say when they know there's getting ready to be a war of guns instead of a war of words.
Oil rises as dollar falls to new low.
Eventually, OPEC is going to go one step too far like the people manufacturing coffee did a few years ago, and people are going to simply stop using it no matter what.
Happiness can be inherited, research finds.
Now, it's another one of these weird studies. I mean, if a family is eternally happy like the Brady Bunch, you're always going to have happiness around you.
Or maybe they live in Denmark.
Yeah.
Obama signals more aggressive line of attack against Clinton.
Well, because if he doesn't, she's going to just simply run him out of the game.
Egypt presses Hamas on Gaza truce.
That's because they're getting tired of the people from the Gaza Strip invading Egypt.
Clinton raises $3 million online.
If she's not raising as much money as Obama, but she's raising a ton of it.
Men who do housework may get more sex.
They're more available.
Oh, is that how that happens?
That's right.
Crews to move 9/11 survivor staircase.
You know, there comes a time when you have to stop dwelling over the past and move forward.
Swayze projects continue despite cancer.
He's got very little chance of survival. I think only 4% of the people with it survive beyond 4 years, but Mr. Swayze's going to fight.
Good for him. 1888 photo depicts Helen Keller, teacher.
You know, I'm always skeptical of something that turns up that's 120 years old and looks as good as something that we're shooting with our cameras right now.
I would be too. Yes, official. Iraq, China nearing oil deal.
Meaning, don't count on Iran getting a lot of support from the Chinese government because they're making a deal to get oil from the people they want to stomp all over.
U.S. fears attacks on Americans in Lebanon.
When is that news?
That's right. Explosive devices found at UC Davis.
Yeah, 60s all over again.
When officials in this suburban Chicago community began proposing hardline anti-illegal immigration policies, pro-immigrant rights activists rallied.
They don't seem to understand they don't have any rights until they become citizens.
Bush endorsement may be risky for McCain.
No, it just means that he gives the Democrats something to shoot at, and the more they're shooting at it, the more he gets news.
Wyoming, at last, is a Democratic player.
Not really.
Ohio vote shows importance of economy.
It's called All Politics Are Local.
Credit woes, housing data drag on stocks.
That's because so many companies made so many bad loans that nobody is making any money.
Discounters like Walmart Stores Inc. results beat expectations.
Well, when you put your expectations as low as they can get, if you go above them, it really looks good then.
Ah, perfect for Wall Street. Jobless claims drop steeply.
If you look at the newspapers, you'll find there's tons of work out there. It's just a matter of whether anybody actually wants to take it.
A European rocket has been scheduled to launch Sunday from French Guiana on a mission to bring oxygen, food, water, and equipment to the International Space Station.
I mean, that Mickey Mouse little space station is actually becoming an international space station now.
Good for it. Industry trying to block smog cleanup.
Well, all you have to do is go to Kings Canyon Park like we did over the weekend. You can't see the mountains 10 miles away because of the smog on them.
I know, and you thought you'd go up to the mountains and it'd be nice and fresh and clean, and
It wasn't that way.
yeah, it was the block for the smog. Microsoft releases new web browser beta.
We sort of figured that was happening when you see how badly 7 is currently working.
Yahoo tries to delay Microsoft showdown.
You know, they're going to have a new board of directors appointed, and they're going to approve the sale no matter what Jerry Yang is trying to do.
How many board of directors have they had the past couple years?
They've changed the board of directors, I think, 3 times in the last 19 months.
Wow. MPA, studio settle internet piracy case.
Basically, they settled it for the moment. Tomorrow there'll be new piracy because the internet is impossible to shut down.
Lead-tainted toys prompt Senate action.
Well, there's little they can do except ban the products from this country because the other countries don't have the same standards as we do. And they produce for their market first.
A Monty Bubbleism from the Mark Twain of the Animal Kingdom.
Well, it looks like if you can't win an election by the people, you simply order a redo from the courts.
Oh, wait a minute. Here, I have some breaking news.
It says there's absolutely no truth to the rumor that Senator Obama is going to demand redos in Florida, Michigan, Texas, Rhode Island, Ohio, Tennessee, New Mexico, Arizona, California, Oklahoma, Arkansas, New York, New Jersey. Aren't these all Hillary Clinton victories?